Hi everyone, my name is Angelica, and thank you for joining me at the writer's table with This is Improv. Today, we're going to be talking about a day in the life scene. Day in the life scenes are one of my favorite to create because it brings a magnifying glass to those things that seem mundane, and you get to highlight those things and make them fun. Nora Ephron was amazing at creating day in life movies and stories. Nora Ephron had a knack for turning the mundane into something magnificent and interesting. You might have watched some of her romance movies, like You've Got Mail or When Harry Met Sally, and they were just normal stories about normal people falling in love, and she created something magnificent where we were really engaged in what was going on between these two people. She was also able to transform stories like how she learned how to cook and the different recipes that she learned along the way, and transform that into a journey of her finding herself. If you want to take a look at a day in the life, take a look at Nora Ephron. So how are you going to write your day in the life scene? Well, it goes back to the who, the where, and the what. Now, the where is going to be kind of narrowed down for you because it should be something that you're familiar with. It's going to be a lot easier to write this scene if you're familiar with what's going on. Because remember, you're taking something mundane and making it interesting by drawing focus on something specific. So it's easier to write specifically about something mundane if you've experienced it yourself. The characters are also going to be narrowed down for you. This is when going back to the episode about journaling is going to be very important, because taking from your life and taking characters that you know, not saying that you should use your mother or your best friend as something that you make fun of, but maybe do. Your environment and your characters are pretty much taken care of. Now your what becomes important in this story. So you've gone through a normal day. What makes a day different than any other normal day? And maybe this thing that's different isn't so different after all. It just left a big emotional impact on you. For example, you might have a person going to a coffee shop. And when your person goes to a coffee shop, there is this long line, and your character needs to go to work. There's a meeting that's going on and they need to be there immediately, but the line is so long, and every person who goes up to get their coffee has some special interesting order to add along to it. So your character is waiting there listening to all these weird orders, and what makes today different than any other day is this person stood in this line. They love this coffee shop, but never have they been in this kind of a rush, and never have they experienced listening to all these abstract orders while in line. Then, when your character goes to the front of the line, they find out the reason people have been giving such intricate orders is because today is wacky coffee day, or the machine is broken. The machine that takes money is broken. So they have to include enough to the order to reach a certain amount of money, or else the people at the front won't take it. Maybe the person who's working at the coffee counter helps out, maybe another customer helps out, or the whole line starts pitching in and throwing in wacky ideas for coffee, like coffee and kitty hair, or coffee and a pint of mint, coffee with sprinkles and whipped cream, coffee with unicorn blood. Whatever you decide, it's going to be a fun scene because it's something that we all recognize, especially you, and it's something that's a little different than the norm, but based in possibility, in the realm of the everyday. Tina Fey has a similar scene in 30 Rock, the first episode of 30 Rock. She goes up to a hot dog stand, and there is someone in front of her in line, and she cannot wait any longer to get her hot dogs, so she buys the whole cart. It's a simple scene because it comes from something we're used to, but it's made a little bit different and a little bit crazy by the actions your characters take. So I challenge you guys to take power into your own hands day to day and look at the world around you, see what would be interesting. Ask yourself, what if this were to happen, and how would it turn out? So now it's your turn. take a look around you. Look at your day-to-day life. What is interesting? What are you familiar with? What do you think is a little boring? And if it's boring, what would spice it up? What would make a normal day different than any other day for you? If you'd like to share some of your ideas, send them along to This Is Improv, and we'd love to take a look. We also have group classes and private classes where you can take your ideas, show them to us, and get some feedback on what you're thinking, whether it be in a group or one-on-one for some specific planning. Be sure to also look below at our description to get more information about what's going on in our community and ways to help out. My name is Angelica. Thank you for joining me at the writer's table with This Is Improv.